Hello and welcome to the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm your host, Alexandre. I'm a success coach, healer, creative, and future millionaire. If creating money and success in a spiritual and feminine way is your goal, this show is for you. Understand how to overcome your past, bring your soul's greatest gifts to the world, and up-level your income, impact, joy, and happiness. Join me on my journey to creating a 7-figure business and learn the business mindset, spiritual, and lifestyle changes I make along the way. Let's all rise together. Hello and welcome to today's episode, The Power of Rest. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. A long exhale. And if you can, I invite you to be still for today's episode. Embody the energy of resting whilst you listen to this powerful discussion. I'm really excited to dive into this because I think that it is an overlooked topic in the world of female entrepreneurship, and yet it's one of the simplest things we can do to generate more success. And it's a very, very important piece, but it can actually be quite a tricky one to master, and I am definitely personally on the journey of allowing myself more rest, of incorporating more rest into my schedule. And if you run your own business, or you're a busy mother, an employee, the chances are that you also could do with more rest. So stay with me today and take this opportunity to allow yourself to slow down. So today's episode is brought to you from my bed. Because partly, well, why not? The bed is also known as the soft office in my company, and employees are encouraged to work from the soft office when they feel called. But today is a particularly delicious day to be working from my bed because it's been pouring with rain outside, it's cold and it's windy. And as I was writing today's episode, I was watching the choppy seas. I was watching the white peaks of the waves, the seas smashing against the rocks and the white foam crashing on the landscape. I was watching the trees blowing in the wind. I was watching the rain make bubbles on my swimming pool, which is what it does. I've never seen this before, but perhaps I was never aware. When the rain comes down heavy, it forms little bubbles on the pool. And at the moment, I'm running 3 live programs, which is a lot, and they all run or overlap into my evening time, into my personal time. So I can quite often work until 8 or later. And if I do that, the next day I make sure that I don't start work until noon to avoid burning out. Leading transformational and energy work requires me to take really good care of my own energy, because if I am depleted, how can I fully serve others? I need to be able to hold space and presence for others' traumas, wounds, challenges, growth, and struggles. And the ability to do that comes from being filled up and in balance in my own energy. So if you in any way lead, heal, or support others, know that you also want to be in the right energetic place to show up fully and, importantly, enjoy it. Now, rest is not something that comes naturally to me. I'm known as the human hummingbird. always flitting from task to task. And it's something I've had to learn how to do, and I'm still learning. In total transparency, I am still learning when I need more rest, how to incorporate rest into a full schedule in a fast growing business, how to balance the different areas of my life and still allow rest for me. And I've found that my need for rest changes over the course of a month. So right now I'm in the week before I bleed in my cycle, and I found out through journaling that I need more rest than usual this week. And if I don't honour the need for rest, this will result in me feeling really exhausted and running out of energy and having to push myself beyond my natural limits. I've also found that if I don't get enough rest, it will create hormonal imbalance and strong PMS symptoms like not being able to sleep at night, either get to sleep or waking up during the night. I have found that I can suffer from water retention, tenderness, swelling, being overly reactive or emotional. So there is an opportunity for all of us to learn how to integrate rest in our routine and to learn how to rest without feeling guilty. Now, sometimes there is a practical or scheduling piece. As I said earlier, because I'm currently teaching live 3 evenings a week and then on the 4th I private coach, I don't book anything in on a Friday. I have a light work day doing personal errands in the morning and allowing a slower pace in the afternoon. I will also often book a massage or a blow dry in on a Friday afternoon to have a fun transition, a fun end, and to mark the end of my week and get me into weekend mode. So I've had to make some practical changes in my schedule to allow in rest. And this can be during the course of the day, so breaks. It can be in the evening after work, especially if you have a family, figuring out where does your rest time come in around your partner, your kids, your own personal care. And then there is a practical and scheduling piece around rest on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on an annual basis. What does that look like? So, first of all, let's talk why rest more, because it can actually be just another thing on the to-do list and not seem that appealing when you have a long to-do list and a lot of demands and a busy life. It's like, well, why would I rest more? First and foremost, to feel good. To feel good. We all deserve to feel good, not when we've completed that deal, not when we've finished our to-do list, not after the next launch, but right now, whilst we're on the journey. And the truth is, when we feel good, everything seems easier and more enjoyable. We handle challenges better, and they impact us less emotionally. Our health improves, adrenals heal, joints are better, there's less inflammation, migraines stop. We feel less tired, more confident and more capable simply because we've allowed our bodies time to do what they do so naturally, and that's to heal. But they need rest in order to complete their natural healing process. Our positive energy when we rest attracts new people and opportunities and money into our life. When we feel good, our energy raises, and that's more magnetic. And to create mental space. When we rest, new ideas, solutions and perspectives on challenges, on business, on life, on relationship, they have the space to come in. So why do we find it so hard as women to rest?
Well, first of all, we are programmed with an operating system of male patriarchy that values productivity. Society values productivity. We're schooled in being a good person, a good woman, through being productive. We're brought up being loved and praised for our results and what we achieve. Parents that saw education as the key to a happy and successful and safe life rewarded us for our results. And we grow up with these programs embedded deep inside us. Work builds upon that. The corporate world rewards us for our results with bonuses, with promotions, with the culture of working hard and being successful. And then there's female gender roles we're brought up with. Seeing a mother cooking, cleaning, raising a family, looking after everyone, and now, very commonly, working as well. These were norms that were passed on to us and are reinforced by society, the media, advertising, that we should be able to do it all, that we should be superwoman, cooking, cleaning, raising a family, looking after everyone, always being there for people. Oh, and also juggling a job and bringing in our own income. No wonder we find it hard to rest when we're trying to live up to such norms. But here's another perspective. Productivity can also be a cover-up for low self-worth. It can be a sticking plaster for not feeling good about ourselves on a deep level. So when we don't fully love and accept ourselves, which most of us don't, right? We're human. We're learning how to do that. That's the journey of being human. And we're always going to be on that journey of growing our self-worth and loving and accepting ourselves more. But productivity can be a cover-up for low self-worth. So we get used to valuing ourselves on what we've achieved in a day. And that becomes quite addictive. And you probably know the feeling of like, wow, today was such a productive day. I slayed my to-do list. I feel so good about myself. And we can carry this unconscious link between how productive we've been and how good we feel about ourselves, how valuable we are as a person. This is something we work on a lot in my programs. But productivity can also be a distraction. It can be a distraction from thinking about leaving the job that we know we've outgrown and is no longer fulfilling us. It can be a distraction from the marriage that's no longer working. It can be a distraction from the health problems that we know we should get round to addressing. And sometimes we just have unrealistic expectations of what we can achieve in time. That was definitely one of my patterns for a long time. Just being completely unrealistic in what was possible and then beating myself up for not achieving it. We try to do it all ourselves and wear that badge of honour. And quite often as women, we don't allow ourselves to be supported with help around the home and help in our work lives. And then we inherit programs around working hard in order to be successful and safe that are running behind the scenes without us fully realising. And we hold limiting beliefs that in order to be safe and secure, we've got to push ourselves, we've got to control everything and do it all perfectly. No wonder we're exhausted, right? These are just a few of the reasons I have observed that we find it so hard as women to rest, to embrace and allow ourselves to rest. These are the kind of programs we need to become aware of and then choose to let go of, transform, and so no longer be available for tiredness, burnout, or overwhelm as normal. The truth is, a woman is designed to be the receiver. And when we rest, we actually allow our bodies to restore and to heal. Our breathing and our sleep improves. Our stress levels drop. our hormones rebalance, and we start to accept ourselves more as we are right now, without needing to improve, to do more, or to try harder. Resting allows our desires and intentions to manifest without the effort and control. This is something we work on in my Thrive Beautifully Mastermind, breaking this compulsion and this habit of being productive and bringing in more joy, more freedom, more self-care, more time off and more rest. So if you find yourself saying, I will rest when ... you're in the right place. It's time to make a shift from doing to being. You can't just keep going and going and going. We are not machines. We are human beings. So if, like me, you're someone that's been a human doing, it's time to choose a new way. So I'm going to wrap up with some tips on how you can rest more. One of the most powerful ways into this new way of allowing myself to rest more has been through my body, through my physical body, through listening to my body. So I invite you to make space to hear your body, and it will communicate to you through physical sensations, through thoughts, what it needs and wants. But you first have to make space to hear it. And one simple way to do that is to give yourself a 5-minute body break. So this was taught to me by my somatic psychotherapist. And the way I do it is I will simply lie on the floor for 5 minutes. I'll put the alarm on my phone so my mind doesn't go into, isn't it 5 minutes already? Or maybe it's been too long? Or what if I fall asleep? I'll put my alarm on for 5 minutes and I'll simply lie on the floor and I will do a body scan. If you've ever done yoga nidra, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'll just scan over my body and just become aware of the sensations. So if I was doing it right now, I would say, oh, there's warmth in my thighs. Oh, there's a little tightness in my shoulders. Oh, I need a big breath. Oh, my neck's a little stiff. And I'm not going to judgment, I'm just purely being in observation. And as I go into bodily awareness, it slows my breathing down, slows my mind down, and I start to get really connected to how I feel and what I need. So, making the decision to rest more is quite simply giving yourself permission to rest, no matter how busy you are, no matter how many people are making demands on your time or asking you to meet their needs. But it's giving yourself permission to rest. So start with small breaks, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then you can schedule in longer rest breaks, maybe a weekly rest or a retreat once a year. But don't wait until you burn out. Take time to rejuvenate, to rest. There are riches awaiting you when you rest. Experience how delicious it is. Experience how good you will feel. And the universe always likes to mirror back our internal state. So whilst I was writing and recording this episode, it went from those rainy storms we started with to glorious sunshine bursting out, and all without me doing anything. So allow that beautiful metaphor from the universe to be a metaphor about what's possible for you. when you allow yourself to rest. That shift in perspective about your life, about situations in your life, about how you feel, about how things are going, that shift in perspective is possible for you when you rest. Allow your rest to bring the sunshine into your life. Have a joyfully easy and restful week, and see you again next week. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'd really appreciate you being here along for the journey, and I love seeing your reviews and messages that you are benefiting from and being inspired by this podcast. They really mean a lot to me, so thank you to everybody that sends me DMs and leaves reviews. If you would like something to do during your rest time this week that doesn't really involve any doing, then I invite you to experience my success meditation. You can sign up for this using the link in the show notes or at polyalexander.com/success-meditation. This meditation has the power to release limiting beliefs in the way of you creating more success and making more money in your life and work. And actually, when we're in a deep meditative state, a deeply relaxed, restful state, this is actually one of the best places to manifest from. So whilst you're resting, why not open the channels to more abundance? I hope you enjoy it, and I am excited to be back with you again next week.